the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania, presented by Kalshi. The no bullshit approach to all markets, including election betting, cryptocurrency, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. We are back, baby. Kalshi's supporting us. Elon, the dog. Some news and notes for the beginning. We need your likes. We need your subscribes. We need your retweets. Just go ahead and blast this out to all of your friends that keep us on the air. And we also are looking for a paid position to clip some stuff on YouTube. If that's you, slide into the DMs and get yourself a job that pays money. Today's top story. We are moving the markets on Kalshi, ladies and gentlemen. The Trump bump seems to be real. 24 hours, we have seen this is still coin flip, but we have seen a wee bit of separation. Brett Ritchie, what do you make of this bump? That's fairly significant.
Yeah, I saw. I guess some polls came out that maybe weren't as favorable to Kamala. I'm not a huge on these polls personally. They've been pretty flawed in recent years. But as a man with his ear to the street, it's not surprising to me. I think that Trump is just running a much better campaign. He's doing all of these podcasts where he can talk off the cuff for hours on end, where Kamala has to be just hidden and carefully curated. It's weird to me that you can't even hold a conversation, really. Like, that's such a red flag that I think maybe people are picking up on that and shifting to Trump.
Tony, the producer, thank you for joining us. You can see the Mac Lance designation there. That is obviously not correct today. But Tony, you've seen the markets move. We can pull up Pennsylvania too. Just let us know what your thoughts are. And we don't have Glance here. We don't have Glance here to defend the left. So yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone.
I'll try and be fair, but I'm sure I'll fail. In fact, what'll happen is I'll say something grossly offensive, and we can just assume that it's Mac Lance saying it and give him all the crap for it. So that's how we're going to operate today.
Absolutely.
However, I just got to say, I think the Democratic Party's in real trouble. They had a big sugar high when Kamala first hit the scene, and the entire apparatus moved with her to try and push her on America. But now that she's been exposed to even the most basic elements, the most basic questions, the apparatus seems to be crumbling. And I see some panic setting in, and this is starting to look a lot like the Hillary Clinton experience, where everybody thought it was a lock, but the Democratic insiders were saying, hey, look out, we've got a real problem. Guys like James Carville, he goes ignored, he's old school, they don't want to listen to him, but you know what? That guy is onto something. So I'm afraid that the Democrats have a real problem, and when you look at our portfolio, that problem is going to be good for us. We're up just a little bit already, so loving that on our Kamala no. But, I mean, interesting cycle, and of course we're going to be here to cover the numbers, the markets, and everything. So this has been fun.
Should be noted that Kalshi had about 1 million or so in volume in that presidential main market in the general, and now it's over at 5 million. So I mean, I think that we're going to see cash just flow in over the 4 or 5 weeks or so until the general, which will be covered here on Market Mania in an epic election night stream that you must put on your calendar, and then you must join us for this. If you were here 4 years ago, there's no way you're missing it. If you didn't see it 4 years ago, you are going to be in for a ride on election night that's going to really be focused on the gambling version of this. And speaking of gambling, it looks like the boys over at TD Bank have been gambling with who their customers are, the easiest bank in the world, even for fentanyl traffickers. I know Tony, the producer, is locked and loaded, fully erect, looking to blast off on this one. It appears that this is a $3 billion fine, and alleges such a massive amount of financial fuckery. What, Tony the producer, do you have on this latest bank?
You know, I love it when the big banks get kicked in the teeth, but I got a few things making me side-eye this story. First of all, the fact that Merrick Garland is the one pushing this. I didn't know that guy had it in him to seek actual criminals. I thought he was only there to mess with the January 6 people. But if he's actually seeking justice for a crime, that would be an example of him doing his job for the first time in this whole presidential cycle. That's impressive. Kudos to you, Garland, you demonic, you hell beast. Gosh, I wish I had worse words. But anyway, that's me being unbiased. The story is interesting because they were doing a lot of money laundering for like a bunch of drug cartels. Now, this is the main complaint against cryptocurrency, but of course our biggest banks are always complicit in this sort of thing. So those are my thoughts.
Brett Ritchie, can't believe we worked in a J6 reference there. That's what you get when we get
Tony's on the show.
That's when we use swap glance for Tony the producer. Right. This is, gonna push this shit.
That's why we need glance.
So, Brett, you take a look at this story. We've seen this. We saw it with, I think it was Deutsche Bank when we did this show some years ago. But I mean, and it's happened a bunch of times since then. Wells Fargo's paid a whole bunch of these fines. What do you think about this?
Well, so why do these guys get away? They pay a fine, right? What did CZ and Binance do that's different or worse than this? Why did he go to prison? That's my first thought, is that they get sort of a white glove treatment to some extent, which I'm not even trying to demand anyone goes to prison here. I just think it looks to me like a double standard. And like when Elizabeth Warren, like how's she going to spin this? Because she's always on these crusades talking how evil crypto is and how it's used for all these horrible things. Well, like this is a lot of fentanyl. A lot of people died for this money, right? If you look at the amount of fentanyl deaths, so why is this more okay than crypto? I don't think it should be.
So, of course, all the politicians are completely the ones like Elizabeth Warren are just they lie through their teeth. And then, like, I mean, also the Republicans do the same thing, too. It's not this isn't any that. And when you get somebody that's dishonest like that, they're never gonna reference this. They're never gonna draw the parallels between the fact that the size here, it's 400 million laundered by just one that's one reference. It doesn't say who it was either. On fentanyl sales, and then it also lists 18 trillion in unmonitored transactions. This is many multiples of the market cap of the entire crypto market. Yeah. So when it comes time, when you're really looking at the large criminal organizations and where they are storing their money, I'm sure it's surely an order of magnitude almost more into the fiat currency banks that have been complicit for a long time. And I mean, you're not going to see a politician circle back and be like, oh, maybe I was wrong back there. Oh, actually, this one's way bigger. Here's the real problem. You're never going to see that. And I got a feeling this isn't the last bank to be fined. $3 billion. Same as CZ, by the way. Same fine as CZ.
Yeah, minus the jail time. And one other thing I'll just say is this was 18 trillion of customer activity over about a decade that went unaccounted for. But I bet in another 10 years, another suit like this will be filed. Every 10 years, they can reliably get these big banks for some fine for some crime, and then they just go on about their business. This is just the cost of doing business. And I just wish we could move to a world where money laundering is not a crime because we don't have an income tax. But that's another show. We'll probably move on to our meme cycle.
Yep, we're moving.
I can't believe CZ paid $3 billion. I mean, that's the same as this huge company. They charge an individual to find him the same amount.
Shout to CZ. He's free. Gotta love it. You assume he's about to deploy, and
he's free. The market's back running again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Let's get him on.
All right. So now we're going to bring you sort of a special thing today, where we're going to dive deep into the meme coin super cycle that has essentially defined this recent. This latest cycle in crypto I think we can say, has been defined by meme coins on various chains. And then how can we possibly discuss that without talking about the origin of all this, which
where it all began?
It's Rare Pepes, and that's where I'm a big Rare Pepe guy. A lot of people know that. A lot of people know that I am the Rare Pepe dealer on OpenSea, and that and that I'm the creator of Soda Popinski. So this is essentially the genesis of the meme coin cycle. We have to look back to Counterparty, which was a shenanigans protocol that in 2014 some nerds wanted to pile in some metadata in the op return area of the Bitcoin blockchain, not to get too nerdy on you, but you can insert in a Bitcoin transaction a little bit of data, whatever you want, 80 characters into the op return. And then what people did is they made a protocol with this. And it didn't really catch on at the beginning and nobody really cared. But then sure enough, a couple of nerds, they're like, you know what, let's just mint out a bunch of Pepes on there. Let's just use it. All right, fine. No one's using it. I'll just use it for Pepes. And in 2017, I was playing around and I minted Soda Popinski. Yes, the name on the card does not exactly match the asset name. Whoops,
Welcome to Rare
really
Pepes.
Yep, we're trying super hard back then or now. But this is the card that I made. And technically, I know Tony loves this. Tony loves this. I am technically
It's a great one.
An early NFT artist. And you can't really argue that, can you? Can you, Tony?
No.
You can't argue
It's
that.
amazing. I don't think people quite appreciate the degree to which you're a fine art dealer in these Pepes. I mean, you've got a lot of them. You've got a metaverse rare Pepe art museum, and I think these are actually going to be a part of art history, and you're a big part of that, MEMECOIN. Not to blow a bunch of smoke up your keister, but man, I think people don't quite understand how important you are to this aspect of art history. I think it's pretty cool, and I just love going through some of these, and like, here's a screenshot of your art gallery in Metaverse, and I just think you got some great stuff here.
Okay, so I mean, now Brett's played Rare Pepes too.
Yeah.
Pretty deep, and I mean, he's deeper in NFTs in general than I am. But you're looking at the Rare Pepe dealer on OpenSea, and then Brett. I mean, I don't know if you want to give them the 30-second explainer on exactly what they're looking at here, but there's 1,700 cards. We minted from 16 to 18, and it's really, honestly, it's kind of a snapshot. I don't know, what do you call it? Street art? There's
street
politics
art,
in there. There's everything.
Yeah, it's to me, it's internet culture. So in terms of the MEMECOIN super cycle, or potential MEMECOIN super cycle, to me, Rare Pepes, ETH NFTs, MEMECOINs now, it's all sort of same game, different field, right? It's trading internet culture. And the game keeps evolving. Some of the formats keep getting better. Like the MEMECOIN NFTs suffered with some liquidity problems and discovery, and that was like a crazy run up and a huge crash. And MEMECOINs are like that on steroids. Honestly, it's like a super turbo of a regular crypto cycle are these MEMECOINs. So, but it's very interesting. It's fun, and it's where the action is.
Shout to Invisible Pepe. It's just a blank PNG or just a blank, just nothing. It's a clear image. But I would say that the Rare Pepe, I know. And Pepe Soup from Zed. I mean, that is iconic.
Classic.
I got one of those on my wall. So signed by Zed. Really good stuff. Really crazy art collection. If you're ever in my house in the middle of the ocean in the Caribbean, got some stuff to show you. But I mean, Brett's right in the sense that what we see today and what we even saw in like the 21 cycle too, it does seem to be, I like the way Brett said it, trading internet culture. Because Glance was on the show arguing Ponzi scheme, yet Dogecoin since 2014, the granddaddy of them all. I mean, Brett, you also kind of have to kind of point to that as the beginning too, right?
I mean, yes, you could give, like, Doge was the spark, Rare Pepes was the kindling, ETH NFTs was the wood, and now like the furnace is just full blown fire.
That's fair. And now, so tell them. Go ahead, Tony. Drop your thoughts.
I just want everybody to pile into based Brett right here.
So, oh god, so this fucking thing. All right, I wasn't doing a lot in crypto last year in 2023, and at the end of the year in December, whatever, I was a little burnt out from the NFT when the crash, whatever. I wasn't doing as much, and I'm playing a poker tournament at the Win, and the guy at my table, he's like, oh man, I gotta buy this Popcat, which we'll look at in a bit. It's like 1.3 billion now. He's like, it's only $15 million market cap, as if it's like totally free. Anyway, I saw these signs coming that there's going to be this meme coin wave. So I basically just was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go all in on this world right now. And anyway, I see Brett coin on Solana. Okay, this coin here is on base. So I buy Brett. Then I see another Brett on Injective, another blockchain I've never even heard of. I bridge over to Injective to buy the Injective Brett. Then I look a little more, and it turns out it's like a Matt Fury sidecar character. And I'm like, well, there's all these different ones on different chains, and the ones I bought were kind of scams or they didn't go anywhere. So I was like, what? I'm done with this one. And then this guy hits, and it was just like off to the races. So
is that the?
I should have just bought all the Bretts.
Is that the number 74 crypto right now? Is Brett? Is that 800?
It's a $900 million market cap. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't know how much. I don't think this ends. I'm just saying. I mean, like, I see what we're doing. Yeah, trading internet culture. Like, yeah, some NFTs may be involved. Like, maybe do embody that, but I don't know how many cat coins. I don't know how many billion-dollar Bretts. I mean, I don't think this ends super well.
Well, I think it's the same
on a 5-year time horizon.
Look, the cycles they are very similar, right? Like, your goal is to trade and to stack up more Bitcoin or like whatever, right? Like, you're not going to sit in all. They're very volatile, and there's going to be big corrections on meme coins. There already have been. I've seen some crazy drawdowns.
If we're looking at the Solana meme coin ecosystem, which I would say ruled the day at least for the last year-ish or so.
Yes.
I mean, it was like
really starting in January, March, whenever that. The first part of this year was great on Solana. Then I think it got a little bit scammy, or a lot.
It's a cheap mint on Solana. You don't need to pay ETH level fees, so people were just minting, and then everybody saw whiff. And it acquires a multi-billion-dollar cap. It feels to me there's like some greater fool theory just at play here, almost to the nth degree. And you see a few of these pop, and then things like pump.fun come in, where you can now generate a Solana meme coin, a couple of clicks, a couple of bucks, and off you go. And then now you have I saw a dev smoking crack. I mean, a dev, somebody that launches a coin on pump.fun, starts like a Kick or a Rumble or whoever will let you, I don't know, who's letting you smoke crack on live stream these days. I don't know where you go for that, but, doesn't hit my feed. But I see this, and I see that then, they're calling them devs. And then wow. I mean, Brett, like this, the velocity here can't hold. We can agree there.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, similar to what we've seen with Top Shot and ETH NFTs, the supply just keeps expanding. So even if like the overall market cap of memes continues to rise, which I think it's like 50 billion, to me that's cheap, right? The net market cap of meme coins is cheap. It's likely to be much higher than that, but there's going to be a lot more new entrants. So you're not necessarily going to see some of these, most of these coins are going to go to zero or whatever. So you got to know, you play the game on the field, spread your bets.
Tony, can I interest you in a crack smoking Solana meme coin?
I was afraid you were never going to
ask.
Does
that factor
honestly.
Into your?
Yeah.
You got to have it in your portfolio.
I'm just wondering why we don't have a Market Mania meme coin right now. Honestly, that's probably going to have to go on the to-do list.
Maybe we'll launch it during the election night.
So Brett, I know that you're deep into runes also, and I will admit, I will hold up my hand and admit a little bit of ignorance here. But so this is essentially, and I remember when it was big, and when Casey, and then I remember the drop, and then there's ordinals, there's runes, there's BRC20s, and so now these pumped massive when they dropped, then they tanked massive as we've seen. But now, what is it? Runes are back.
They're back up. I mean, they're closing back in on all-time highs. I love runes. This has actually been my main focus in crypto over the last couple months. Because Solana got so scammy, I was like, I think that runes will have their day. It's Bitcoin, like it's meme coins on Bitcoin, which is the granddaddy of them all. And the UX, the UI is all terrible right now. It's really like going back to using dial-up internet or something after high speed compared to Solana. But I like that friction, right? Because it sort of raises the barrier for people to scam. I'm not saying there's not scams or anything on here, but it's a more fair playing field than on Solana, where there's so many, insider cabal coins and bundlers and snipers and just rugs. So I'm a big fan of runes, and again, it's meme coins on Bitcoin. The entire market cap of runes is very small. Like their biggest coin is like a $400 million market cap, where you go to Solana and it's like 10 billion. You go to all these other places, they have coins in the billions, and Bitcoin doesn't have one. Now they don't, but I would be shocked if that's true by the end of the year.
Tony, the producer, a crack smoking Solana coin and a couple of runes. Does that factor into the modern man's portfolio?
I mean, that sounds like a retirement plan to me, especially when you consider like Brett coin's going to be a world reserve currency someday, and so are these runes and the Soda Popinskis of the world. The thing I want people to just be aware of is I personally think anything on Solana is risky. I think Solana's kind of a bad chain. I think your pick yesterday of Sui was going to take it out. I think Solana is a VC shitcoin. I think when the All In podcast members dump theirs, everyone else is going to feel the pain. So that's where I'm at on Solana. But I do like the fun projects here.
Yeah, a lot of fun happening on Solana that you can't do on Bitcoin, that you can't do on EVM chains because of the cost. There is, I mean, when you let the boys play, when you give them the cake, then they're going to smoke crack. So that is going to, I believe, Brett, you're done on runes, right?
Yeah.
You can just
I'll continue in pick of the day, but
yes, no, we are going to transition quickly. And now, if you remember, and thank you very much, Shaniac, for reminding us of all of our old fun time gags and tricks here. It is safety glasses on. It is time for the Market Mania pick of the day. Now that this is not investment advice, hat needs to be charged. Guess we'll add that to the checklist, Tony. And what is, I guess it's going to be Matt Glantz is not here, so it's going to have to be Tony the producer. What is your pick of the day?
My pick of the day is Uniswap. They just came out with another layer 1, I believe. I got to do a little more reading. But they are always growing. They're always developing on Uniswap. And Uniswap is in the center of a lot of other services that go out and look for the best way to swap your coins for you. Whenever a system is going out to seek the best swap, Uniswap's always part of that, and there's a ton of liquidity there, and they're always developing and always good names on it. So Uniswap had a nice little bump here, and you look at the all-time, I mean, it's way down from its all-time. That's not saying it will ever get back up there, but if it does, you've got a long way to go here. A lot of upside here. So I really like Uniswap.
Automated market makers, one of the first fun time DeFi things that did something very, very useful, constantly copied. Brett Ritchie, what is your pick of the day?
My pick of the day is Dog Go to the Moon on runes. It's the third rune created. There was this big sort of fight to get in the first block for runes. But what I really, really, really like about this coin is the distribution. 100% of this coin was airdropped to people that traded ordinals in the first year of Bitcoin ordinals. So there was no pre-mine, there was no developers holding some back, or there was no insiders could accumulate a bunch early. Like it launched at like $100 million market cap with this fair distribution. And now the runestone, you got a runestone that turned into the dog coin, and the distribution is really the star of the show to me. That's one of the hardest challenges to solve in a meme coin, and I think they did a really, really good job of launching this coin and then pushing it. So I'm a big fan. I bought runestones when it launched, and I'm just holding. I haven't touched it. I'm here for the moon.
All right, and then that is going to bring me to my pick of the day, which has to be the Nakamoto card, baby. This is one that through the NFT shenanigans, yes, it went down, yes, it went up, but this has held value in the sense that people are still paying about $100K for the maybe it dipped to 60 or something, or 70, but there's 300 of them in the world. Super iconic. This is essentially the first NFT. Is always a fun discussion and exactly what it was, but this is one of those first Series 1 card, one of the rare Pepe series. We call it the Nakamoto card. The counterparty asset is just rare Pepe, all one word. And then, I think that this, I think this one really does have the staying power that
sure.
over a lot of this stuff, and people are going to agree. So,
hey, Brian, before you take us out, want to say real quick.
Break it in.
Mike McDonald on the chat saying, "Audience pick of the day, UCIT." Is that equities or is that?
You see it? That's a Solana coin.
Oh, Solana coin. Sorry,
I'm
so lame.
Thank you very much to Mike McDonald for listening to this show. We definitely appreciate OGs like yourself supporting us. Do you see it? I don't know. It's, who knows? So with that is going to do it for today's episode of Market Mania. We'd like to, and thank you, Shaniac, Shane Schleger, getting the shout out again. Elon the Dog, Kalshi, thank you very much for the lead sponsorship and the presidential prediction market in the U.S. We are going to leave you with one of the modern day poets. This one is Key Glock's No Choice. And it goes a little something like this. Can't end up the victim, nah. Bitch, I'm a gorilla, yeah. Don't give a fuck at all, baby, I was born like this. I'm screaming, fuck the law, fuck the state, and fuck the feds. I put this shit on pause, fuck the state, and fuck the feds. Thank you very much for joining us here on Market Mania. You can hit us up on Twitter at Market Mania Show. You can leave your questions in the chat, reply to us on X, and get your question in the Market Mania mailbag. Still looking for the YouTube guy, and we will see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. Power of attorney, wow, we're turning. Can't lie like it's to be burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine to look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe light, like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about tonight? My interview's tight now. I was surviving.